everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Tech Bytes. In today's episode, we're with EJ von Schaumburg of Epiphany Systems. EJ, so last week we were talking about some of the trends with the increasing number and sophistication of cyber attacks. Can you tell us what's driving this increase?
Digital transformation is really driving a faster, cheaper, better mentality. More things connected means more information to make better decisions. But once it's connected, it creates a potential vulnerability or an exploit. That also takes place on where that information is being collected from, whether it's on-premise, in the cloud, or connected to third-party SaaS players and others, creates additional attack surfaces for the bad actors to exploit.
Okay, and so can you tell us a little bit about what really matters most then in terms of the cybersecurity posture? And what would you recommend for IT teams to think about or implement as they are thinking about their security posture?
Yeah, so we have a very simple model, right? Think like the adversary thinks. In simplest terms, an adversary thinks of how can I compromise an enterprise? Traditional red teamers or offensive-minded teams think in terms of left to right. And what I mean by that is, how do you get into a network? How do you transition, or what's referred to as a Nexus Point? And then how do I reach a prize? How do I compromise something that matters? From our perspective, we flip that model around. We actually think from right to left. So once we collect the data that we have, we can actually understand all of the prizes that are in your network. And also not only us understand, because we allow the clients to add what they show is a prize or what's valuable, and change the model.
All right. And then how do you do that? I mean, do you believe that there is a place for artificial intelligence and machine learning based threat analysis as opposed to human monitoring? And if so, how do you segment the use of either for a best practice?
Yeah, great question. I mean, if you look at how sophisticated the adversaries are today, they're actually using machine learning and artificial intelligence to drive the exploits, right? And I think it's a balance, right? From our perspective, we use machine learning and artificial intelligence to drive the algorithms that help us build these attack paths, right? That's going to create the baseline of what's exposed and the risk, but it's not going to give you the human element of, can I accept that risk as part of my organization, right? So there's the need to take all of this technical data and put it into context to the business terms, right? And someone within that organization has to determine if that risk is acceptable for the appropriate attack paths.
Yeah, it makes sense. So with really the attackers using artificial intelligence themselves to sniff out the weak spots, it seems like the best way to really counter that is to match that technology and to ensure that they're really able to counter it in the most effective way, but really supplement it with that human-based intelligence to further kind of solidify your defensive posture.
Yeah, that is correct, right? So it's context that matters, and at the very heart of Epiphany is a contextual data engine.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, EJ. It was great to speak with you, as always. So join us next week as we continue our discussion with EJ von Schaumburg, Vice President of Business Development for Epiphany Systems, where we'll be discussing how cybersecurity has become a top priority for executive leadership and its impact on the enterprise overall.